Happy Thursday. Happy Nuggets Ticket Thursday. We're going to have keywords all day long on the 20s for your chance to see the Nuggets and the Philadelphia 76ers coming up on March 17th. Your first keyword comes up here on the morning sprint in about 15 minutes from right now, but welcome in on a wonderful, a beautiful Thursday morning in the Mile High City. Alex Ryanemi alongside the coach who's back from his one-day absence. That's Mike Sanford. KJ Granderson's behind the glass today as well.
Scheduled maintenance, Nathan McKinnon style yesterday. And
Yes.
I'm back and I'm ready to skate. I'm ready to score a goal on the power play.
Yeah,
man.
there's some energy there. Hey, listen, power play's running at 21% since they've come back.
You betcha.
That's all I care about. Avs will be off tonight. They're back on the ice tomorrow evening in Dallas.
The old 2-day hiatus.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Allowed for the fellas to get out there at Pelican Hill and play some golf.
Oh, I played Pelican Hill.
I think they had a bunch of tee times. Also, the Montreal Canadiens were out there playing golf.
That's
So
so
Connor
weird.
McGahee and Moser and Kiefer were sandwiched in between Cole Caulfield, Brendan Gallagher, who were in front of them, Canadiens players, and then like Parker Kelly and Mackenzie Blackwood were behind them. And I got sent a video yesterday that Parker Kelly took of McGahee's swing from the middle of the fairway. And I love Connor. Didn't make him look so great.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go. You know what I love about Connor McGahee, though? Is that he takes his job seriously. And typically, if you take your job seriously, you're not very good at golf.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah. You know what I learned that.
I can't believe you all are still listening.
We are still listening, Connor. I learned that very quickly. Any football coach that traveled recruiting-wise with their sticks was a terrible recruiter. The worst. And I'd start like doing check-ins. Once I found out one of my assistant coaches, either when I was a recruiting coordinator
Whoa,
or...
hold on.
we got breaking
We
news.
do have some breaking
Let's go.
news in the National Hockey League.
Tell me it involves the Avs.
It involves the Colorado Avalanche. I was just texting Connor McGahee about this player earlier today. The Colorado Avalanche have announced the team has made a trade with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, Austin Matthews, come on down.
It's not that center, but a different center from the Maple Leafs. The Avalanche have acquired center Nicholas Waugh for a conditional first-round pick. Waugh's a third-line center. He's on the fourth year of a 5-year, $15 million deal that he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He won a Stanley Cup with the Vegas Golden Knights in 2023. He is 6'4". He is 215 pounds.
Ooh.
He is a mean son of a gun to play against. Not a big-time scorer, but he is a Stanley Cup winner.
Bag?
Yeah, he's a bag.
Yes.
That's a
All
bag.
I wanted was some gooning to happen on the ice here in Colorado at Ball Arena.
I didn't love the idea of him being in play for a first-round pick. It's a conditional first-rounder. I'm trying to find what the conditions are so far on that first-round pick. It's a first and a fifth. The fifth is the conditional 2026 pick. That coming from Jesse Montano about 34 seconds ago. You know what? You have the assets right now. You have the space. That's a really good playoff-tested forward. Really good playoff-tested forward.
Golden Knights in 2024. Toronto since then. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
And what other team has he played for? Just is it Carolina, Vegas, and now the Leafs? Is that right?
Correct.
And his Stanley Cup was Vegas?
Stanley Cup was Vegas in 2023.
With Carolina, he was a brief appearance. He was a young
Barely
player.
played at all,
Yep.
and I believe he got selected in the expansion draft by Vegas. I'm almost positive that's how he went from Carolina to Vegas. He, ever since his World Junior days, I remember watching him back in, 2016, I think is when he played World Junior for Canada. He was not a fun guy to play against. Kind of that Maxime Comtois feel, if you guys remember that type of player. He's better than Comtois. Again, not a big-time goal scorer. He's a 15-goal type of guy, kind of at his peak. Two-way forward, defensive guy, very physical. And what this does is it counteracts what Dallas did yesterday. And what Dallas did was trade for a 6'6" defenseman in Tyler Myers. Now, Tyler Myers is not a good defenseman. He's just a very long defenseman. And now the Avs have multiple 6'4" guys on the offensive side, Nicholas Waugh, Val Nichushkin, and Brock Nelson. You're kind of counterbalancing that length and that size with your forwards. The Avs also make a trade yesterday to bring in defenseman Nick Blankenberg from the Nashville Predators. Now, 5'9", 180-pound defenseman who was born on May 12th of 1998. You know who also is a 5'9", 180-pound defenseman born on May 12th of 1998? Sam Girard. You know where Sam Girard came from? The Nashville Predators. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Blankenberg will likely not. You likely grabbed Blankenberg.
He's an Eagle.
To be a scratch.
He's an Eagle?
He's a depth piece. He's a 7th, 8th defenseman. Okay. He is your insurance that, like, if Sam Malinsky gets injured or if Cale Makar misses time, that's when he jumps in. You essentially trade a 5th-round draft pick for him to become a scratch. And that's okay, right? A 5th-round draft pick is worth insurance.
No relation to Patrick Waugh.
No relation.
And I know in French Canada, Quebec, Waugh is a very, very common name.
Yeah, no relation whatsoever.
Zero. Big, like you said, big fella. Good skater?
Yeah, solid skater. He's a good player. He's just not very offensive. He's a good player.
And you didn't have any real solidified 3C. Does this Nicholas Waugh move solidify your third center? Period.
Oh, yeah. His camp's already come out and said, we're starting at $14.5 million.
Yep. As we predicted.
Which means it's going to cost you. Do you want to deal with that?
It's going to be an overpay.
It's going to be an overpay.
And Kadri would have been an overpay. He would have been an overpay.
Kadri would have been a first plus. A first plus a active NHLer plus a prospect. And I think that's the starting conversation with Kadri because of the salary retention that would have been needed.
Nico Waugh. That's how I'm going to call him. It's Nicholas, right?
Nicholas Waugh.
Nick?
Sure, Nick Waugh's fine.
I like Nico Waugh.
Nico?
Yeah, why not?
There was a Nico Sturm on the Avs when they won the Cup in 2022. So if you want to have a Nico, that's fine.
Yeah, give me a Nico Waugh. Tell me, what does that do for the Avs cap situation? So the 3 moves that have been made, am I right in saying there have been 3?
2 moves for the Avs. 3 moves. Yes, if you add in the Sam Girard trade, sure. They now have like $7 million in cap space at the deadline.
So there's still room.
There's still plenty of room.
For what?
A winger, maybe Bobby McMahon, but you've already made a deal with Toronto. Maybe make another one. I really like Bobby McMahon. He'd be an awesome Av.
Where would he fit in?
Middle 6 to bottom 6 wing, just in case Logan O'Connor doesn't come back, and they're hoping that he comes back. Waugh does have 1 more year left on his deal, but $3 million, man, for a third center, be my guest. That's fine. He's a UFA in 2027 at age 30. That doesn't hurt you going into the Cale Makar extension because you can extend Cale this year, but his extension doesn't kick in until after next year, if that makes sense. Cale still has 1 more year left on his $9 million deal. You extend him for 8 years in the offseason. It kicks in 2028, not in 2027. So you bring in this guy in Nick Waugh to make you meaner, to make you longer through the middle of the ice. The conditions have now come through on this trade. Again, if you're just joining us, the Colorado Avalanche acquire centerman Nicholas Waugh from the Toronto Maple Leafs for a 2027 first-round pick and a 2026 5th-round pick. It is a very hefty price for a guy who scored 5 goals this year in 60 games, but the 2027 pick is top 10 protected. So if something crazy happens next year, like there's big time injuries to Cale and to Nate, and they tank kind of like Florida did this year, it will be protected and then it moves to a 2028 pick. I don't foresee that happening. Like I think the Avs will be in the same situation next year as they are now.
Why is hockey so much more of an active trade deadline sport than any other sport? Like each year,
it's so late.
Is it just? Does it does the way that the collective bargaining agreement set up, does it allow for more movement? It just seems like there's more activity in hockey than any other sport.
I think it's way easier to make a move in the NHL than it is the NBA because you don't have to match salaries. You just have to be underneath the cap.
The
That's all you have
NFL's
to
like,
do.
it's nothing. Like the
NFL's it's not a trade league,
It is
man.
not. It isn't.
The trades around the NFL, it's funny because there was a big time trade, or there has been a big time trade agreed upon between Buffalo and Chicago, and we'll get to that on the other side of the break today. It's not really a trade league in season. I think the reasons why the NHL is so active at the trade deadline is because it's so late, and you kind of know who the teams are that are going for it. In the NBA, it feels like, and certainly the NFL, it feels like it's too early. You don't know who you are at that point, right? So like you don't want to pull the trigger if you're not a team that's going to make the playoffs, but you also don't want to sell because you've got so much time to maybe get in. I like the fact that there's a month left in the season.
Hockey and baseball.
Hockey and baseball. Baseball's great.
It is fun.
Great.
The in-season deadline. It's a lot of fun. So Brian from the Shop Mazda text line, one price, one person, 1 hour. Another super slow guy for the Avs. Agree or disagree?
I mean, he's slower than most of your forwards, but you're not getting Nicholas Waugh. Your third line doesn't need to be fast. Look at who you're going up against. Look at the defense that you have to get through, most likely in round 2 in Dallas. That is a slow, lanky, son of a gun defensive core to play against in the Dallas Stars. I don't need another quick dude. I have Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, the team's built around
McCarr,
the team's built on quickness and
I have
speed.
Marty Necas.
Yes.
I have all of those things. They're showing you that the Avs need to be multiple. The front office is showing you that, hey, we don't need to have multiple versions of the same guy. They told you that when they traded Sam Girard for Brett Kulak. We already have puck-moving defensemen that are undersized on this team, and they're better than Sam. What we need is a rangier guy.
And what you and I've been, well, certainly myself, but you have agreed on it, is we've both been clamoring for some more teeth in that lineup somewhere.
There's teeth. Nicholas Waugh brings teeth.
And I like that.
He's not a game breaker.
No.
He's not a difference maker. He's tough.
He's a guy that might stand toe-to-toe with the guy that you need, a Jamie Benn type of guy.
It is a Nuggets Ticket Thursday. Keywords for your chance to get inside the building for the Nuggets and the Sixers on March 17th. Don't go anywhere. Your first keyword comes up on the other side of the break. Big time news. The Avs bring in centerman Nicholas Waugh for a first-rounder and a fifth-rounder. Big trade in the NFL, as well as DJ Moore is going to the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
law firm gives you the chance to win big both on and off the court. You can visit them today at willheitwins.com. Again, this hour's keyword is Allen, Allen. We'll have our winner announced at 11:55.
As in Allen wrench. You ever used a good Allen wrench to put together some IKEA furniture?
Sure.
It's a tremendous joy, Raj. It's a lot of fun. Raj, during the break, I was asking.
Thanks, Moj.
Raj, during the break, you were pontificating about, man, that's a lot to give up. So, right along the lines of it's a pretty good deal for Toronto.
Pretty good deal for Toronto.
Okay, conditional first and a fifth. Is that right?
That is correct. The fifth is the lowest, like the least valuable of the 3 fifth-round picks that the Avs have this year.
My prepubescent, pre-kindergarten hockey brain said to you, look at the last 5 years of Avs drafts and tell me how many of those Avs are actually playing, Avs draft picks are playing for the Colorado Avalanche. I get return on investment with trades, but I'm saying there aren't very many sports where you can look back 5 years and not be able to cite one player on your big league roster that is a major mover of the needle.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to hit on lots of your high-end draft picks in the 20 teens, and most of those guys are elite players. And we talked about how there's a lot of movement in the National Hockey League, a lot of trades certainly around the trade deadline, and that's the reason why the Avs don't have a lot of players that they drafted between the years of 2018 and let's call it 2023 because, well, they traded all those guys away. You know who would be playing for the Avalanche right now? Like Bowen Byram or Alex Newhook or Drew Hellison or Justin Barron. All of those guys would be Avalanche right now, but they traded them all away for pieces. Some pieces worked and some pieces didn't. Like, you know, Justin Barron and Drew Hellison brought in, if I'm correct, Josh Manson and Arturi Lehkonen. So you're going to take those trades.
Bowen Byram's having himself a hell of a year.
Bowen Byram's having a good year.
Got 30,
Buffalo's
31
playing.
as a Demon, plus 11 on the net. Pretty good.
Buffalo's fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
funny
move
'cause,
on
like,
from your players. Like
outside
Outside
of Bowen Byram, Callum Ritchie, since 2018, there's not a ton of players that are like even really bona fide top 6 players or first 2 D pairings. Outside of Bowen Byram.
like in the league
Yeah.
or on the team, you had to open up the cap space.
So to
Justin
me,
Barron is a replacement level borderline NHL player. He's got 190 games underneath his belt, but you moved on from him. Olausen was a miss. Taylor McCarr's played 12 games for you this year. He's a 7th round pick in 2021.
the Avs have proven that they're going a little bit.
They have only selected one player with their own 1st round pick. You know who that was? Jared Verse.
Pretty
and
good.
they hit pretty well on Jared Verse.
1 for 1.
Everybody else has been traded.
It's almost like the Rams and the Avalanche are like the Power 4 college football team that loves their main pieces that they recruited, years ago. And then they're just going to go straight portal to find established, experienced, known commodities in the NHL during this cup window.
It's almost like the Rams and the Avalanche share some sort of ownership DNA.
It's almost as if the Rams and the Avalanche are kind of in win a Super Bowl or a cup or bust mode in the next year or 2.
Well, they have been. Both of those franchises feel like they've been there
5 years.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's a big price to pay for Nicholas Waugh. Again, what it's telling me is a 1st and a 5th for Nicholas Waugh, who has 1 more year remaining on a $3 million deal. That's the reason why it was so pricey, because his contract is so gettable. It's also telling me that the price for Nazem Kadri was unpayable. In order for that cap hit to go down to $4.5 million, Calgary probably was bending you over a barrel. It would have been multiple 1st round picks. It would have been multiple either NHL players or high-end prospects, the Nabokovs, the Guliayevs, those types of guys, maybe a Gavin Brindley.
The deals that McFarland has made, they scream create more space on the cap. Because none of them to this point have been major hits to the cap. They've actually been give up more in terms of picks in order to potentially actually create more cap, as was the Sam Girard move. And then this one is give up more picks because the salary itself is it's very edible. So you still live above $7 million in cap space. And
Right around.
about acquiring picks in that case, it'd be about dumping salary. About acquiring picks in that case, it'd be about dumping salary. Is there that type of player that exists out there? Is there that type of player that exists out there?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
What do you think the Avs stay well under the cap line?
Well under.
Why?
There's not really players out there remaining that I think make them markedly better that they could make a move for.
When will the McCarr deal have to happen?
You have to extend him this offseason.
So
but
is that part of it?
It doesn't kick in until the year after.
Okay.
So the Avs are looking for players right now that are either pending unrestricted free agents this coming offseason or unrestricted free agents the offseason after that, because that's when Cale's money, which is going to be anywhere between $15 and $20 million a year, kicks in the 2028 season.
We were texted, Nicholas Waugh is son of Patrick Waugh.
He is not.
That is false. No relation. Zero relation. It is the equivalent of saying that, let's just say, a Smith. Son of Smith? Probably not necessarily exactly that when you acquire a new Smith. So, Waugh is a very common French-Canadian name. No relation whatsoever. Raj, what about the trade that happened in the National Football League?
DJ Moore goes from Chicago to the Buffalo Bills. The trades this week in the NFL have been big time. The Chiefs trade Trent McDuffie for a first, a fifth, a sixth, and a future third-round pick. The Lions move on from David Montgomery. He goes to the Texans for a center, a fourth, and a future seventh. The Texans trade Titus Howard to the Browns for a fifth-round pick. And now the Bears trade DJ Moore over to the Bills. Josh Allen now has James Cook, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, and Dalton Kincaid to throw the football to.
It's pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
And
DJ Moore would have been
Knox
fun
too, right?
And Dawson Knox, yes.
Dawson Knox.
And
Dalton
Dawson Knox.
Kincaid, Dawson Knox.
Yes. That's a pretty good setup for Josh Allen. DJ Moore would have looked good.